Hi everyone, welcome to the 58th episode of the Zicast. As always, I'm your host Ryan Ziax, and today I'm joined by marketer Ilana Blumenthal.
Hi.
And I'd like to shout out episode 24 guest Patrick Rourke for stepping in the TD. So to kick things off, mind telling us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. I'm in my second year at Quinnipiac University. I major in finance and I minor in marketing. I'm in a sorority on campus called Alpha Chi Omega. And in my free time, I work a ton.
And another fun fact is we're both from North Haven, Connecticut, as is Patrick. So we have this big high school reunion here on the Zicast. Like I played football with your brother, football and track, I should say, with your brother Josh. So a lot of kind of a full circle moment here.
Definitely, yeah.
And to kind of kick things off, I'd like to ask you, Ilana, what made you want to study finance and marketing?
Well, I came into Quinnipiac as a marketing major because I loved psychology. Did you take Mr. Soderholm?
I did. We did. Patrick and I did. Yeah,
oh my gosh,
he's our boy.
I love him. He inspired me so much, and he made me fall in love with psychology. But I never saw myself in the psych market. I never saw myself in a position that I'd be able to do psychology, but I wanted to go somewhere where I could implement psychology. So how there's marketing analytics and going behind why a consumer chooses the product that they do. So I enjoyed marketing a lot. I enjoyed all the classes I took, but then I had so many people in my ear telling me to choose a quantitative major rather than a qualitative major. So I chose to switch to finance. And I love it. The classes are a lot more difficult. I'm not a huge math girl, but I think it could go somewhere eventually.
Yeah, math has always been my Achilles heel. And do you feel like there's a sort of overlap between like a psychological approach and the kind of financial, if that makes sense?
I think so, definitely. I mean, it's what you want to, it's how you choose to deal with your money from a young age. I mean, what you invest in and what you do with it. It all is psychology. It's what people tell you to do, how you want to interpret that. So definitely, I think so. I think I could make it my own, somehow put psychology in there.
Yeah, a lot of scams start from manipulating people's needs and wants.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I've actually learned a lot about that recently in sales. I've just been doing my own research and found that a lot.
Connect with people. That's how you can get them to give you money.
Most definitely. You have to have them trust you, and that's a whole psychology thing in itself. You have to build rapport and be able to have a conversation, and they need to trust the person in order to buy the product. So definitely.
And moving onwards, you are involved in marketing, which of course is like what we just talked about. So I'd like to ask you your work for vector marketing and your goals with it.
Yes, so I recently just started that position. It's a seasonal position, just a 4 to 6 week program for winter break. This past year has been a wild journey with the jobs that I've taken on. For the past 4 years, I was a waitress at a restaurant in North Haven. And beginning of November, I moved on to be a salesperson at Camouflage Boutique in North Haven, which I love. And then this opportunity came up. They reached out to me on LinkedIn, and I was like, you know what, why not? I mean, I'll have the experience under my belt. So it's been good. It's definitely an experience. It taught me what I do and don't like about sales. So I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying going to see people that I know and telling them the product and having those conversations, like building the trust, but it's people I already know. So it's pretty much just catching up, and it's been really enjoyable.
Interesting. What are your likes and dislikes about marketing?
Well, I like to think of marketing, or I like to think of, I'm trying to think, because sales is marketing. You have to market a product. So I don't love sales because I think of a car salesman, and you know how they're deceiving. And one thing that I learned is that when they tell you, oh, I'm going to go talk to my manager to see if we could lower the price is already lowered. And I never knew that was actually a thing. So I don't like how it's deceiving, but I love that I could help someone out by selling something. So if it could just benefit them, their life in any way in the future, I do believe in a product, and I'm able to sell it because of that.
Interesting. So you want to be honest in your marketing.
I do. I don't like when things are deceiving or they're lying or they're building up a product that shouldn't be built up in such a way.
And if you don't mind giving us like the scoop on some of the tactics a marketer would use to deceive the good people.
I think it goes all back to psychology. It's how you build up a product. You start by upselling it, and then you go to downselling it, knowing that if you start at $10,000 and go to $500 sounds so much cheaper than $10,000, so you might be able to get a sale with the $500, even though they may not have that money, but it just sounds so much more cheaper than $10,000. So definitely upselling is a thing. What else? I think it's the way you present your material as well. You have to ask those awkward questions in order to make the customer feel a certain way and trust you in a certain way where they feel as if they have to buy the product and they can't live without it or something like that. They're all deceiving in a way.
Yeah, the can't live without it part is very eye-catching because it's like another thing of like manipulating someone's needs and wants. It's like to think they need this product when they actually don't.
Right.
If there's any way you can kind of elaborate on that mentality.
So I think when selling a product, you build a product up to be the best thing in the world. You want it to be, you want it to show it in a way where the first time they see it, they fall in love with it, and now they can't see themselves without it. So it was, and you were asking about how you can't live without the product that I'm selling. So it's like, why wouldn't you buy this product now? Because it's the cheapest it'll ever be. I mean, with inflation, everything like that. So you have to buy this product today. And you got to buy it before I leave because I'll give you free stuff with it too. And then if you wait a week, I can't give you free stuff. So that I think that's another tactic that also comes into play as well.
It reminds me of a movie. I don't know if you see it, Glengarry Glen Ross. Where it's a movie about like selling things. I don't know if you've seen the scene of like Alec Baldwin, like the always be closing, that like famous movie scene.
I should. I probably haven't.
It's about a lot of these like marketing tactics, and one of the things he would do is like when they're on the phone, it's like, oh, I'm leaving tonight. If you don't close this deal, it's gonna leave. So is that also that sort of pressuring people to get it done right away?
Yes, definitely. And I've learned that a lot, is that you have to pressure these people. You have to say, I'll give you a shopping spree if you buy it today. Or I'll give you 4 free things if you buy it right now. And it makes them make these quick decisions that they have to think about super quickly because it's like $3,000. How do you make a decision like that on the spot? But you force someone in that position where they're like, oh, I guess I have to buy it right now so I can get free stuff. Like, that sounds like a good deal, even if it really isn't.
Yeah, it's exposing those like primal instincts, too, because like there's a scene later in the film where like Al Pacino's character in the film is like a marketer, and he kind of screws a guy out of a ton of money, and then he's like trying to get it back, and it's this kind of franticness of that moment, and it's very interesting how it's like, even with the way society is today, you could kind of just prey on those people's needs and like the factors of our brain that like pushes us to do things.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
This interesting topic of venturing into something else, I'd like to ask you, that you brought up earlier, your work at a clothing boutique. I'd like to ask you about just kind of what you've done there and what you enjoy about it.
I love working there. I mean, the environment is amazing, and it's definitely new customers that I've never seen at the restaurant because it's just a whole new environment. I mean, it's a women's clothing boutique, so pretty much just women or boyfriends who want to get clothes for their girlfriends, or husbands who want to make their wife happy. And I think it's just so nice to see people happy. Girls or women come in, and they're looking for an outfit for tonight, and it's just so fun because I mean, it brings like, I'm in a sorority, so like the sisterhood bond and just like girls for girl, I just love it because they come in, I could pick them out an outfit, and then they feel great about it, and they walk out with a new outfit, and now they're having a wonderful day, even if they came in having the worst day.
That's an interesting overlap. I didn't think about that, the sorority hood with that. It's like an extension of that kind of sisterhood, would you say?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's such a great environment. Everyone builds each other up. Strangers, they're like, oh, that looks good. And I love the environment. It's so good.
It's interesting you bring up the husbands and boyfriends. The happy wife, happy life is also a
That's what they say. They come in and that's what they say. And my boss, she knows everyone individually, and she knows all their stories, and she just connects with them. And I've learned so much from her because just she's so friendly, and she's so respectable. Like, everyone just loves her, and I love that, and that's how I want to be.
It makes me think of like when dudes go to like Victoria's Secret to buy something for their friends.
No, happy
like how
wife,
awkward
happy
that can
life.
feel. Yeah. Awesome. I could just imagine the smell of perfume in the air and
definitely.
all of that. It's definitely one of those kinds of places.
Most definitely.
Awesome. And kind of moving onwards, which is fitting next topic, I'd like to ask you about the work you do in your sorority.
So last semester I was on the executive board as VP of CRS, Chapter Relations and Standards. So we just dealt with conflict and resolution in a confidential manner. I would handle excuses. People would come in for scheduling conflicts. Honestly, it was just a conversation, but it was a great way because I learned a lot of leadership and how to work as a team and how to delegate responsibilities. So it was such a great time. I mean, I never thought I'd be in a sorority, but I've gotten so much from being in there just for a year and a half now.
Interesting. So it's like a business position, so to speak?
Kind of. I mean, all positions on the exec board is somewhat a business position. I mean, you have, I'm blanking right now. There's something for everything. There's social media. There's oh my God, I'm blanking. But there really is something for everyone. And they deal with their own little part of the sorority. And it works out, and everyone has their own responsibilities.
Don't worry, I blank on here.
Yeah, I'm so
all
sorry.
The time.
I can't think of any of the positions.
Do not worry at all. And I'm interested. Oh, you say handling excuses. What is that? What exactly does that mean?
So if someone can't go to one of our events, they have to put an excuse. Just because, you want to make sure you're at everything. So I think it's just important for the attendance.
It is like a job.
It is,
I brought up the business thing, so
right,
you're boss lady.
Yeah. Yes.
Better punch in.
Oh, yeah.
Clock in. That's very interesting. And then, so I know you all have your events and things like that too. Anything you're partial to in regards to that?
Like, what's my favorite?
Yeah.
We do. So our philanthropy is domestic violence awareness, and I think everything we do for that is amazing. We do walk a mile, so everyone puts on a pair of red heels, and we walk around the quad, and I think it's such a great experience, and everyone's so happy, and it's for such a great cause, so I love that one.
That has to be kind of painful walking around in heels.
Oh my God, it's so painful. I hate heels. It is painful, but you don't even think about that because you're just so happy to be there.
Gets the point across.
Right.
Yeah. Literally walk a mile in your shoes.
Technically, it's not actually a mile, but it's a nice lap around the quad, so it's a good distance.
It's a mile in our hearts.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very much so, and that's great that you get that experience in like this business-like setting before venturing into like professional marketing and things like that.
Yeah. I know definitely.
With sorority, like, do you also see a correlation with like marketing in sorority because you have to market the sorority?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, you want people to join, so you have to market it in a way. I mean, that goes back to psychology. What are people seeing? Why are they going to want to choose you other than other people? Just like, why would they want to choose a product instead of the other products, right? Like, why are you the best,
Yeah, because I'm sure there's competitiveness between the sorority, so to speak.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for me, when I was going through recruitment and when I was looking for what sorority, I mean, first of all, I never thought I'd be in a sorority. So I really went in with an open mind, and I was just looking at the philanthropy, like what everyone supported and everything like that. And for me, it was the girls that I met in Alpha Chi, and I fell in love with, do you know FAMS?
Oh, I've had it explained to me on here.
Okay.
So
So my G big, her name is Gina, and I talked to her during recruitment, and I just fell in love with her. Like, I just wanted to be her. She was in finance, and if it wasn't for her, she was just my saving grace, because it's a long weekend, and it's not that I didn't have girlfriends in high school, but it's different. Like, you find your real friends here. I found my friends for life, the girls who would do anything for me. So I think with she just made me feel in a way where I was so comfortable and I could trust her, and I didn't even know her. So that's why I chose Alpha Chi, and it really is the people in it and who you connect with. So I don't know, I guess in that sense, I don't know if it's marketing, because it's just really who you connect with.
Interesting, because I was about to ask you, like, what kind of drew you there, but I kind of deduced the philanthropy, and then the people you ended up meeting is what drew
right,
you to
and
them.
just that energy in the room. I remember walking into other sororities and just not feeling the same thing I felt for Alpha Chi. Everyone was just so happy, and it was just a crazy experience. I'm thinking about what I could say and what I can't say, but but it was great. It was so great.
Yeah, they won the Ilana Blumenthal sweepstakes.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. By miles, yeah.
Yeah. And kind of speaking of these new experiences, I know you mentioned that you're going to study abroad soon.
Yes.
So if you don't mind telling me a bit about your plans for that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Yesterday, I actually just changed my flight. I was supposed to leave on the 28th, and I'm leaving on the 27th. Just the faster I can get there, the better. I'll be there for 4 months, and honestly, I haven't thought about it too much because I tell everyone, and they're like, wow, you're going to leave for that long? I can't imagine. And I guess I really haven't thought about it that hard to get nervous. But I have been booking trips. I'm going to go to London, Italy, Amsterdam. I'll be in Spain. That's my home base, in Seville. So I'm so excited. I want to learn about perspectives and how people see the world in different places. So I'm really excited.
Awesome. I do know a few people who will be joining you studying abroad in Spain. Antonio and Maeve, if you know them in your group.
I believe so, yeah.
And awesome. Also, for some context, this is being recorded in January. This will come out in March.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be a little farther down the line.
Oh, awesome. I'll already be in a few countries by then. That's great.
And if you don't mind telling us more about what your plans are for when you're actually in Spain.
I don't really know. I think I want to enjoy my time. Everyone keeps saying I'm going to learn so much about myself. I mean, so we're from North Haven and Quinnipiac's in Hampton. So we haven't gone too far. I know you said you went to LA, right?
Yeah.
So you had that experience to get away from everything that's here. And I mean, I really haven't had that yet. I see my family every other week. I have a great support system. And I'm always around people I know. I mean, especially with the sorority, you never go anywhere without knowing anyone. And now I'm going to be in this whole new place where I know absolutely no one. I barely speak the language. And I'm excited because I really do think it'll allow me to grow and become a better version of myself because I've never been put in a situation like that.
Yeah, it's a great test and challenge. And I like that you brought up North Haven, kind of small town, venturing here at Quinnipiac.
Yeah.
And another great thing that college will do for you is it gives you friends from different places, whether it be people from the different parts of the Northeast or even beyond. So it's great you were able to find that. And I know you mentioned wanting to go to Italy and other places in Europe. Any plans there?
Yeah, so I'm going to, I hope I pronounced this right, Bologna, Italy?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure. But we're going to do a cooking class there because I heard it's the best food in the world there. We're going to Amsterdam. I'm going with my roommate's family, which I'm really excited for. My course ends May 13th, so that day I'm flying out to London, and I'm going to spend my last 3 days abroad in London. I don't really know too much about geography or history, which is not good. I really should. But I'm excited to learn a lot. I want to go to a lot of museums. I know we're doing a day trip to Cadiz. I think we're spending our spring break in Italy, all around Italy. I don't know where. I'm letting people figure it out, and I'm just there for the ride.
Spring breaking in Italy is, I feel like there's nothing better.
I'm so excited. I want to go to the Amalfi Coast so bad.
I've been there. I can attest. It's very
have?
beautiful, yeah.
Is it as pretty as the pictures?
It is. It's even prettier, I would argue.
Really? How is the water?
I did not go in. I walked along it.
Okay.
And it's a great journey because you kind of go down. There's a kind of windy roads, and then you find yourself at the bottom.
Okay.
It's a really beautiful sight.
Like nothing you've ever seen before.
I would say so. It's definitely one of my favorite travel spots.
That's what I'm preparing myself for, is just to be in awe of everything I see.
I think that's a great way to go into it because you definitely will be in Europe, and just all those experiences you'll get away from home. And kind of speaking of experiences, I like to ask to kind of get into some more personal topics. What are some things that people might not know about you?
So I thought about this topic, and I had no idea what people want to know about me. I mean, we were talking before, and I think people want to know that I love Machine Gun Kelly. I loved his punk music, and he was the first concert that I ever went to, Madison Square Garden, about 3 years ago, and it was the best concert that I've ever been to since then.
I met / I guess you could say worked with Machine Gun Kelly on a podcast where him and I talked about John Cena. So that's a funny connection to have. And you got those tickets as a gift, right?
Yes, yeah. I finished my junior year of high school, and my parents were so proud. I got all A's. So they got us those tickets, my brothers and I. We all went to New York. We had to figure that out on our own. And, I mean, I might be the youngest, but I definitely think I take all the responsibility for no matter what we do. And we had to make our way through New York, and it was a good time. It was so great. But besides that, so that was one thing I didn't think about to say, but I also love art. That people definitely don't know that about me. I love painting. Do you know Mrs. Blythe? Do you remember her?
I do not know.
Okay. She was the art teacher in high school. I was in National Art Honor Society, and she just had so much passion for art and for helping the kids, and I loved her, and I loved art. I mean, even middle school and elementary school, I loved it. I loved doing pottery, and during COVID, I painted my entire room, so
really?
It looks wild now, and anytime I'm on a business call, I have to blur the background because it looks crazy. I have palm trees, New York skyline.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Tell me more about that, like colors you used and what you were trying to, images you were creating.
Honestly, I don't even know. I mean, COVID, I don't even remember half of it, to be honest. I spent most of it. Oh, you know what? I think the paint got to my head because I was just in my room painting with acrylic paint, and I never left. But the skyline looks really cool. It looks like there's a break in my wall, and then I just painted it with a sunset. Then I did palm trees with a sunset. I was in a weird sunset phase. I painted SpongeBob and Patrick, so that's great to see. Now I'm 20 years old, and I see that every day, which is great, you know.
It's your SpongeBob and Patrick,
right,
so
right.
So it's like the New York skyline, like a nice sunset during it.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not bad.
I mean, that's more impressive than most people's rooms.
It was a good time. I mean, we didn't have anything else to do, so I took my time, and it doesn't look bad.
Awesome. And have you drawn or painted anything else like that you'd like to share about?
Nothing crazy. I think that's because it's like my little hidden talent. I don't really do it much, but when I have the chance to, I love it. I mean, that also goes into cooking and bake. I think just like being artistic, and I love baking cakes. I would love to decorate cakes, so I think that goes into it too.
So it's like very hands-on things you enjoy.
Yeah.
What's your go-to cake?
My go-to cake? Oh, I don't know. I mean, every single birthday I'd always have to make the cakes. Now that I'm in college, it's hard though, because my parents, their birthdays, one's in October, one's in September, and then my brother's birthday's in November, so it's kind of, I mean, it's time consuming. Yeah. I would make these chocolate, I love food and I love chocolate, so I'd make these triple tier chocolate cakes. That was a lot of fun because they were just so great to eat.
Oh my God, yeah. The sweet tooth.
Oh yeah.
Maxing out your sweet tooth.
Definitely, yes.
And this leads us very well into our next topic, which is one thing you love and one thing you strongly dislike.
Okay, so I also thought a lot about this, and I was initially going to say I love working out because it's always a constant in my life. No matter what's going on in my life, no matter where I am, I'm always going to work out. It's just what helps me throughout the day. It's what keeps me going. It's what helps me stop overthinking because I think a lot. But then I was like, you know what? I love more than working out. I love food. And like cooking and baking. And yeah, no, I just love food after the gym. Because chicken, sweet potato, I don't know. I make up so many recipes. I just love it.
The good old chicken and rice.
Also so good.
Brings us back to your brother Josh, who bodybuilds.
He does.
Which is, if you don't mind sharing a bit about that.
I mean, honestly, it's great. I've learned so much through my brothers. I mean, so Josh, he's a bodybuilder. Ben, he powerlifts, but Ben went to school to be a personal trainer. So they know so much about the fitness world and nutrition. So I've learned a ton. And I mean, I'm not in the fitness, nutrition, fitness world in any way. But I think just having that knowledge, it just really helps me become a better person. And at the end of the day, I mean, working out and like counting your macros is one thing. But I mean, Josh, he has a lot of discipline. He eats cod. I remember his first show, he would eat cod every single day. It was disgusting. I would smell up the entire house. I would hate it because I can't remember. He might have just gotten out of high school, or it was the summer that he was in college, but he was home. And it was awful. And he was mean at some points because you know how they have to cut their calories.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy calorie deficit, and I hate it. It was rough. It was rough. He was always in an angry mood.
Oh, yeah. I can relate because my brother's into similar things. And, the house smelling up of all the broccoli.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
It
never gets better. But, I mean, he's still doing it. Right now he's in a bulking phase. Looks huge. And, I mean, it's really cool how he transforms his body. Yeah. I mean, whatever you put your mind to, you could do.
Yeah,
that's what he showed me.
Winter arc bulking time.
Oh, my God. He looks like a caveman, too. He grew out his beard super long.
Oh, my God, yeah. The ginger beard
yeah.
growing out.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, it's good. I've learned a lot from them. I mean, seeing them do their stuff. I mean, so Ben went to school, well, not to talk about my brothers, but I think it's really cool. He went to school to be a personal trainer, so he has all that knowledge. And now he actually sells shoes on Whatnot, which is, I mean, it's a different path, but it is really cool. Like that both my brothers choose what they love to do instead of maybe what they went to school for.
So Ben kind of took the middle ground between you and Josh.
Yeah.
Selling stuff and then being big into fitness.
Right. So he goes to the gym when he can, but he loves what he does. He works with his best friend Santino, and they're on Whatnot, and they love it.
Awesome. So food and fitness.
Yes.
So if you could find something you dislike that you would want to share.
So I thought about this too. I don't know if you want the deep answer or just like a general answer.
I think I like the deep answer.
The deep answer? Okay. I'll give you the general one just quickly. Okay. I hate dead rodents on the road. I hate them.
I always see them around town.
Oh, it's disgusting. But my deep answer, I thought of that one on my way here because I saw one, and it ruins my day. I don't want to see that. And then my deep answer is I hate disappointing people. I hate saying no to things because I don't know. It makes me feel disappointed in myself if I disappoint someone else. You know?
Yeah, especially in business like. In my regard, like film, it's always a big piece of advice to never say no to things because you never know where it'll lead to.
Right, and I think I live by that. Any opportunity I get, I always say yes. But then that leads you down this rabbit hole of how far can you stretch yourself? Yeah. Because I've definitely stretched myself too thin in the past, and I mean, you just get tired, and then nothing really goes right. So I mean, that's still my biggest fear, though, is disappointing people and saying no, because you never know where it can lead.
Yeah, especially with connections, and even though on some occasions you might be like, oh, why did I do this?
Right, but an experience is an experience. If it's good or bad, you'll always learn from it.
Yeah, it's like throwing darts at a board. Right. You might not always hit the target, but
at least you tried.
If you hit it once.
Right, exactly.
Bingo, so.
Yeah.
That's great. I like the deep answer.
Thank you.
And I really relate. Well, I relate to both of them, but I really relate to the dead rodents on the road. That's like a North Haven staple.
It really is, and then they stay there for weeks.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And there's just the guts and everything, and I'm like.
Oh, it's awful. It's so bad.
Very disheartening.
Most definitely. They're everywhere too. It's awful.
But speaking of something that will be heartening, I'd like to ask you your hopes and dreams professionally or in general.
My hopes and dreams professionally, I always tell people I want to be a chief financial officer, CFO. I interviewed this woman about a year ago now. She was the CFO of Aetna, and the way she talked about her job and how much she loved it and how much passion she had for it made me think, oh, I would love this too. And as I go more into the finance world, it takes a lot to get there. I mean, that's the highest you can get. So that's definitely a huge goal for me. But I also just want to help people. At the end of the day, if I was in finance or marketing, I want to be able to help people. I mean, with finance, I think more than half the conversations I have with adults is the bills I have to pay, the debt that I'm in, and I hate it. Nothing irks me more than that because I just wish that I could help, but I don't have the tools to help them yet. So I think my huge goal is just to be able to help people who are in not great financial situations.
Yeah, it's interesting because something I meant to bring up earlier was like inflation and how much that's impacting people. Yeah. So it's great to be able to provide, I would say, authentic advice to people. Right. Or from an authentic place, if I should phrase it like that, to people to help them.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I don't like to deceive people. I care about people a lot, no matter who they are, and I just want to be able to help people no matter what field I get into. Even if it's not finance and I veer somewhere else, I want to help people in some way, make people's lives easier if I could.
That's very heartening.
Thank
you.
So
I knew what I was going into this. And do you have like any personal goals?
Just to be happy, hopefully to be comfortable, so I don't have to complain about debt or my financial well-being. Yeah, just to be happy. I hope to move to the city. I want to be in Boston.
Awesome.
I would love that. I don't like the Red Sox, but I would love to be in Boston. That's
interesting disclaimer that you don't like.
I have to say that because originally I wanted to go to school in Boston, and my dad told me I can't come back with Red Sox player, otherwise I'm out of the family. So I always have to say that.
Interesting. Why Boston?
It's beautiful. When I was going to look at schools there before I came to Quinnipiac, it was just, I don't know, I fell in love as soon as I got there. I went there with my dad, and we walked around. There was a Red Sox game going on, and I just loved the environment.
It'd be interesting, your perspective of everything after being in Europe and being more worldly to come back, and then it's interesting now you go to Boston, you could come back talking about Ahava and the Yad.
Yeah.
Come back with an accent. Wouldn't that be something?
Maybe. We'll see. I pick it up easily. Everyone here is from Long Island or Staten Island or Jersey, and especially in my sorority, everyone has an accent. So I've heard that I talk similarly to that now.
So you're just adapting.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
Who knows what more accents you'll pick up
right, yeah.
in your travels. And to kind of ask you another fun question, what are some of your favorite movies?
I love movies. I watch movies all the time. I can't really sit through TV shows, so this was hard because it's like, what could be my favorite movie? And I think my go-to is always The Notebook, but it's a little sappy. I love anything Adam Sandler. I love comedies, and I love rom-coms. So Adam Sandler, Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Aniston. I love all them. I think Anyone But You was good. I know you said you just met Glenn Powell when you were in LA. You met him or you saw him.
Yeah.
So that's
Wish I met him, but I just saw him.
Yeah. So I just love rom-coms. Those are my favorite.
Interesting. Adam Sandler's been in a lot of those, so there's overlap there.
Yes, I've been binging it throughout this winter break. I've been binging them.
And The Notebook, that's
not
a lot of com in that, but a lot of rom.
No, yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think that movie is the first movie that ever made me cry, so that's why I always go to it. I just didn't understand. I remember the first time I watched it, I was in my room, and I ran to my parents, and I was like, why did that happen? And I was bawling my eyes out, and they're like, it's okay. It's just a movie. It's life. It was, so I think that's why.
It's not just a movie to me.
I think that's what I said.
Overall, Ilana, I'd like to thank you so much for coming on here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was so much fun getting to learn more about what you do, your ambition, and just how much you want to help people in a field like finance that determines a lot of people's lives, where I feel like financial success is really tied to a lot of people's happiness, and to be able to provide people insight and advice on that, I think is a very valuable thing.
Thank you.
And a very helpful thing. And overall, just wanted to thank you again for coming on here. Before you go, do you have anything you'd like to leave the audience with?
Thank you for having me.
Any motivational quotes or plugs or?
My favorite quote is "Be the best you can be."
Short and sweet, and simple, and yet very deep. Yeah. We got into some deep places here.
We did.
So of course, Ilana, I'd like to thank you so much again. And as always, this is Ryan Zicast with the Zicast, where everyone has a story, signing off. Thank you so much for watching.